Hello English learner, welcome back to English Speaking and Listening Club. I am so glad you are here today. I know you did not just stumble upon this video by accident. You chose to be here, you chose to press play. And that choice tells me something important about you. You want more confidence, more skill, more freedom. Maybe you are sitting in your kitchen with your morning coffee looking for motivation before the day begins. Maybe you are on your lunch break, stealing a few minutes to feed your mind instead of just your body. Maybe you are unwinding after a long day, refusing to let another evening slip by without investing in yourself. Wherever you are, whatever brought you here, I want you to know that you are not alone. You are part of a family now. A family of people who want to speak English with confidence, with joy, with freedom. And today, I want to talk to you about something very important. Something that might be sitting heavy on your heart right now. The dangerous habit of depending on others for your happiness. The belief that someone else can complete you. That your joy lives in another person's hands. That you need their presence, their approval, their love to feel whole. I am here to tell you that this belief is a prison. And today, I am going to give you the key to unlock it. Let me start with a question. When was the last time you felt truly happy, not just okay, not just distracted, but deeply, genuinely happy? Who was there? What were they doing? What did they say? Now let me ask you another question. When that person left, when the moment ended, what happened to your happiness? Did it stay with you, or did it walk out the door with them? If your happiness depends on someone else being present, saying the right thing, feeling the right way about you, then you are not happy. You are borrowing happiness, and borrowed things must be returned. When they leave, you are empty again, searching again, waiting again. This is not living. This is surviving on crumbs, and you deserve a feast. I know what you are thinking right now. You are thinking, but love means needing someone. Connection means depending on each other. Humans are social creatures. We are not meant to be alone. And you are right, we are not meant to be alone. But there is a difference between connection and dependence, between sharing joy and outsourcing it, between loving someone and needing them to feel alive. Connection is beautiful. It is the color of life, but dependence is fragile. It is fear dressed up as love. It is saying, I cannot be happy without you. And that statement, however romantic it sounds, is a burden. It is a weight on the other person, and it is a vulnerability in you. Because when they change, when they leave, when they fail to meet your needs, your world collapses. And that collapse is not their fault. It is the architecture of your happiness. You built your house on their land, and when they decide to build something else, you have nowhere to live. Think about the most painful moments of your life. The heartbreaks, the betrayals, the disappointments, the loneliness. How many of them were made worse because you had given someone else the job of making you happy? How many of them were survivable in reality but devastating in feeling because your happiness had become their responsibility? I am not minimizing your pain. Pain is real, loss is real, but suffering is often optional. Suffering is what happens when we attach our well-being to things we cannot control. And other people are the ultimate uncontrollable thing. They have their own minds, their own wounds, their own paths. They will change. They will grow in directions you did not predict. They will make choices that hurt you not because they are cruel, but because they are human. And if your happiness requires them to be perfect, to be constant, to be exactly what you need, then your happiness is doomed from the start. This is not about becoming cold. This is not about refusing love. This is about becoming whole, becoming someone who enters relationships from fullness, not emptiness. Someone who says, I am happy, I am complete, I am enough. And I choose to share this with you, not I am broken, I am empty, I am nothing without you, please save me. The first kind of love is free. It is a gift. It can be accepted or returned without destruction. The second kind is a transaction. It is a demand. It is a hostage situation where both people are trapped. And most relationships fail not because people stop loving, but because they cannot sustain the weight of each other's dependence. I want to tell you about a man named Robert. Robert came to me when he was 43 years old. He had been married for 15 years. He had 2 children. He had a good job. From the outside, he had everything, but he was depressed, deeply, clinically depressed. He told me that his wife was his world, that every good feeling he had came from her. When she was affectionate, he was on top of the world. When she was distant, he was in hell. He checked her mood the moment he woke up. He analyzed her tone in every text. He planned his entire day around making her happy, hoping that her happiness would spill over into his, but it never lasted, and he was exhausted. He was anxious. He was losing himself. We worked together for many months. Slowly, we built a different foundation. We found sources of joy that had nothing to do with her. Old hobbies he had abandoned, friendships he had neglected, skills he wanted to develop, including his English, which he had always wanted to improve but never had the energy for because all his energy went to managing her emotions. We practiced small things, going for a walk alone and noticing what he enjoyed, reading a book without needing to discuss it with her, making a decision without consulting her first. At first he felt guilty. He felt like a bad husband. He felt like he was pulling away, but he was not pulling away. He was standing up. He was becoming a person in his own right, and something remarkable happened. His depression lifted, not because his marriage changed, but because he changed. He became lighter, more interesting, more present, and his wife noticed. She told him he seemed different, happier, more confident. She was drawn to him in a way she had not been in years, not because he was chasing her, but because he was finally living his own life. Today, Robert is still married. But now it is a choice, not a necessity. He has his own happiness. He shares it with her, but he does not depend on her to create it. He told me recently that this was the hardest and best lesson of his life. He said, I thought I needed her to be happy, but I needed myself. I needed to remember who I was. This is what I want for you, not the absence of love, but the presence of self, not isolation, but independence. The ability to be with others without being lost in them. To enjoy their company without needing their validation. To love them deeply without needing them to complete you. This is freedom, and it is available to you, but it requires work. It requires facing the fear of being alone. It requires building a life that is rich even in solitude. It requires becoming your own best friend, your own source of entertainment, your own comfort, your own inspiration. Let me give you practical steps for this. First, you must identify your dependencies. Who or what are you relying on for happiness right now? A partner, a parent, a friend, your children, your job, your appearance, your possessions, social media likes. Be honest, write them down, look at the list. These are your vulnerabilities. These are the things that control you, because whoever or whatever can give you happiness can also take it away, and that power over you must be reclaimed. Second, you must build your own happiness infrastructure. This means creating sources of joy that are entirely within your control. Learning English is one of these. No one can stop you from practicing. No one can take away your progress. It is yours. Exercise is another. The feeling of strength in your body belongs to you. Creativity is another. Writing, painting, cooking, building, whatever makes you feel alive and capable. Nature is another. The peace of a walk in the park, the beauty of a sunset, these do not require anyone's permission or presence. Meditation is another. The ability to sit with yourself to find peace in your own mind is the ultimate independence. Build these, invest in these, make them habits, make them non-negotiable, so that when external sources of happiness fluctuate, as they always will, your foundation remains solid. Third, you must change your language, both the English you speak and the self-talk you hear. Stop saying I need you to be happy. Start saying I choose to be with you because I want. Stop saying you complete me. Start saying you compliment me, but I am already whole. Stop saying I cannot live without you. Start saying I can live without anyone, but I prefer to live with you. These are not just words. They are declarations of independence. They are commitments to yourself. They are the truth that sets you free. And as you practice your English, practice this language of self-possession. It will change how you think. It will change how you relate. It will change who you are. Fourth, you must learn to be alone, not lonely. Alone, there is a difference. Loneliness is the feeling that something is missing. Being alone is the opportunity to find what was there all along. Start small, eat one meal by yourself without your phone. Sit in a room without entertainment for 10 minutes. Go to a movie alone, take a trip alone, build your tolerance for your own company, and discover that you are good company, that your thoughts are interesting, that your presence is enough. That you do not need to be performing for an audience to have value. This is the ultimate confidence, and it attracts people more powerfully than any need ever could. Now let us talk about the fear. The fear that if you stop depending on others, you will end up alone, that no one will love you if you do not need them. This is the great lie of dependence. It tells us that need is the glue of relationships, but need is not glue, it is chains. Real love, real connection, real intimacy happens between two free people. Two people who could leave but choose to stay, who could be happy elsewhere but choose to be happy together. This is the only sustainable kind of love. And it requires the courage to be independent first. I also want to address the pain of past dependence. Many of you have already learned this lesson the hard way. You gave someone your happiness, they left, or they changed, or they failed you, and you fell apart. You are still rebuilding. You are still afraid to love again because you do not trust yourself not to lose yourself. This is understandable, but it is not a reason to stay broken. It is a reason to build stronger, to learn from the collapse. To make sure the next house you build stands on your own land with your own foundation so that no one can take your home from you again. This is not bitterness. This is wisdom. This is growth. This is the path to real, lasting, secure happiness. Your English learning is a perfect practice ground for this. When you depend on a teacher to make you feel good about your progress, you are vulnerable. When you depend on a speaking partner to validate your skills, you are fragile. But when you find satisfaction in your own effort, in your own improvement, in your own courage to try, then you are powerful. Then no one can stop you. Then you will succeed regardless of circumstances. Make your English practice a daily declaration of independence. I do this for me, I improve for me, I speak for me, and if others appreciate it, that is a gift. But it is not the reason, it is not the requirement, it is not the condition. I want you to imagine your life 1 year from now if you commit to this. You wake up and your mood is steady. Not because someone texted you good morning, but because you slept well, you have plans that excite you, you are proud of who you are becoming. You go through your day and challenges come as they always do, but they do not destroy you because your happiness does not depend on everything going perfectly. It depends on your ability to respond with grace. You have relationships, maybe deep ones, but they are healthy. You give love freely because you have love overflowing. You do not cling, you do not manipulate, you do not fear abandonment because you know you would be fine alone, so you are even better together. You are free, you are whole, you are home in yourself, and that home is always open to guests, but it never depends on them to keep the lights on. This is not a dream, this is a decision, a daily decision to stop outsourcing your happiness, to stop waiting for someone else to show up and save your day, to stop believing that your joy lives in another person's hands, to start building it yourself, moment by moment, choice by choice, habit by habit, until you are undeniable, until you are unshakable, until you are truly, deeply, sustainably happy. So here is your practice. Starting today, notice every time you reach for your phone hopping someone has made you happy. Notice every time you adjust your mood based on someone else's energy. Notice every time you say I will be happy when or I cannot be happy without. And in those moments, pause, breathe, and choose differently. Choose to find one thing in your immediate control that brings you peace. A song, a walk, a few words of English practice, a moment of gratitude, a decision to be happy anyway. Do this again and again until it becomes natural, until it becomes who you are. If this message touched your heart today, if you felt something shift, if you are ready to stop depending and start standing, then I ask you to do 3 things. First, like this video. Let me know you are here, let me know this mattered. Your like helps others find this truth too. Second, subscribe to English Speaking and Listening Club. Join this family of people who are learning to be whole, to be free, to be happy from within. And third, go be alone with yourself today, just for 5 minutes. No phone, no distraction, just you. And find one thing to appreciate about that, one thing to enjoy, one reason to smile. That is the beginning, that is the practice, that is the freedom. Thank you for being here, thank you for listening. Thank you for choosing to become your own source of happiness. I will be here next time, ready to support you, ready to remind you that you are enough exactly as you are, exactly on your own. Until then, stand tall, stand alone if you must, and watch how the world comes to you when you no longer need it to.